Hey guys, Dan here, back with another video, and today I'll be pretty much telling the story about this cult next door. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty much like it's literally next door. It's like the apartment opposite from mine. So that's pretty interesting. So, this story pretty much happened after it was maybe 7-ish, I think. It was directly on a Friday, that's what I remember. I took my doggy for a walkie and my mom was there or whatever. And pretty much these guys get into the elevator after getting buzzed in by the apartment next door. And they're like, "Oh, is there a party or something?" And they're like, "No, we actually are just going for a religion type thing." And we're already the fuck? And they're like, "You should come and do the thing with us." And I'm like, okay. And my mom's like, okay. So we pretty much go to pretty much see what is happening, and it's weird. So it's pretty much like a take on Japanese culture, but not really. It's like okay. So this is pretty much the basics. Pretty much you do this chant, and then everything you wish for will come true. If you want to be a there you go. Politician, I mean. If you want to be the best YouTuber ever, there you go. You just have to do one chant and give money. You see, it would have been normal, pretty much normal, if it said if it was pretty much oh, if you just pray, then things will happen. But then it says you also need to give money. So that's a pretty interesting part. So I found that pretty interesting, and pretty much the first thing we go, and it's normal, I guess you could say. It's not that bad. But pretty much for the 60-minute, it's an hour thing, or an hour and a half, we're pretty much just chanting. And I pretty much remember back before, these people were kept on chanting only on Fridays, or sometimes different days. But they would just chant and chant and chant. And now I understand what they were actually doing. And it was pretty interesting. So we pretty much just got out of there, and then the next week they came and knocked at the door to see if we would join. And me, being a dumbass as I was, pretty much answered, but I thought it was someone else. Because there's this person who is pretty much what was it? It was a friend, a father's friend, and I opened the door pretty being a dumbass. And later did I know he's also part of the cult or whatever. So he's like, "Okay, do you want to join?" And my mom's like, "I don't want to say no, so now we have to go, blah, blah, blah." And it's the same thing, but instead more people. And plus, we pretty much tell them no, we don't want to join. Because they're saying, if you want, you can join us. You can have different cultures, let's say you're Jewish, you can also be Jewish and believe in this, blah, blah, blah. But then they say, so then, let's say my mom says, "I am also, Catholic," or whatever. They said, "No, you have to take out the Catholic and then be, this cult, nothing else. But you can also be that culture." And I'm like, so you're telling me you can be this culture but can't? Okay, that's, dumb. So, pretty much they have to be it's very weird and chaotic and dumb. So we pretty much don't pay attention to them anymore. But then a couple months later, 2 months, one of our friends, one of my friends just comes over with her mother and blah blah blah, and they're pretty much talking, and the mother has her own experience with the cult, and pretty much says they are crazy. It's not the real religion, because we actually thought that it was a normal since it was a take on Japanese culture, we thought it was actually Japanese culture. But she tells us that no, it's not. This is the fakest thing we've ever seen. And pretty much I also found out that they had been calling my mother 50 times every single Friday, just, "Why don't you come join us? Why don't you come join us? Oh, the prayer is done, but next time you can join us, right?" And they had been knocking at the door even. And it's just crazy chaotic. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's pretty weird, but that's kind of my cult next door. I believe there's because the person next door, the second time we'd come. He said you should your child should join us for this like program, which is pretty much shows them the religion and also with other kids. So I think it's a pretty not more like a cult, more like a ginormous cult. Like there's many people involved. Normally cults are like maybe 20 people. This is at least like 200 or something. That's pretty much my cult next door, so that's pretty funny. I'll see you guys for the next video. Well, as I said, see you guys for the next video. If you made it this far, please comment, cult is weird. Please like and subscribe, and my dog is the best dog to ever exist, and if you don't think so, you shall be part of this cult and is a weird person.